Test.
Welcome, Dragon fans, to another day of baseball. It's Rob Coleman here along with Mr. Russ Toombs for today's game as the SGDragons are taking on the Perryville Pirates. Perryville comes in with a record of 4-5-1. They got some losses to some teams we have also seen. They lost to Cape Central 9-3. They lost to DeSoto 5-1. Fredericktown 3-1, and then also to Seneth Hornsville and to Kelly. They got some wins against Chester 12-2, Grandview 15-0, Dexter 3-2, and Festus 4-3. And they also had one tie against Park Hill Central 7-7.
And we did face them down at Dexter also.
Oh, yeah. I kind of thought that, but it wasn't on Max Preps. I couldn't remember. You played Dexter and Perryville, and you lost to Dexter and beat Perryville, correct?
Perryville 6-5.
6-5. Well, so it looks like it'll be a good game as the Dragons are 7-10 on the season. I believe they are 2-2 in conference.
2-3.
2-3. They lost to Park Hills, North County, and Potosi, and they beat Farmington and Fredericktown on the season. So again, some comparable teams here, both green and white, and the lineup for the Dragons will start with Derek Morgenthaler. He is leading off. We have Waylon Kemper batting second. Wyatt Lomanier is batting third, and he is on the mound for tonight. Dalton Giesler is batting fourth, and he is catching. Brady Boyer will follow Giesler. He's playing center field. And we have Toombs. Drew Toombs is DHing tonight. He is hitting for Camden Rowe, who is in right field. Grant Staffen is batting seventh, playing second base. Daniel Vaith, who is batting eighth and playing first. And then Brandon Henson, who is batting ninth. And Henson will, one of the few games he's going to bat for himself this game. So get to see what he is. And you'll see the first pitch is ball one from Wyatt Lomanier. Batting for the Pirates is number 29, Steffens. I guess I should have wrote that down so to look at it. Steffens batting. We don't have any stats for the Pirates. Steffens looks at ball 3-0 from Wyatt Lomanier.
Yeah, it looks like Wyatt's here trying to find his control here early in the game.
Wyatt has pitched in 17 innings in 5 games. He is a 1-2 record, as that's ball 4. So Steffens will move down to first. He has given up 17 hits, 13 runs. He has 21 walks, 17 strikeouts, and has hit 2 batters. He has a 4.529 ERA, and batting second is Dix, number 3 for the Pirates. So the Pirates start with a leadoff walk, and there's another ball in the turf from Wyatt Lomanier. So Wyatt is struggling a little bit here at the beginning as it's ball 2 low again. So 6 straight balls here thrown by Wyatt Lomanier to start this first inning. We do have a runner on first again as Steffens has walked. And that is ball 3-0. So Wyatt throwing 7 straight balls. I would see that Dix will probably be taking. He's not seen a strike yet. And there's a strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Steffens with a short lead at first. Lomanier comes set to the plate, and there's ball 4. Good little scoop by Dalton Giesler to keep it in front. And we've started the game with 2 walks. So Giesler will go out and talk to his pitcher, try to calm him down a little bit. You have a warm day today. Plenty of sunshine. Thought the storms were going to come. Wasn't so sure if we were going to play. Didn't get the game in yesterday. That was rained out and is rescheduled for tomorrow.
It's part of a doubleheader, I believe.
Yeah, the Dragons will play a doubleheader with AV and Valley. So there will be no JV game. It was the Valley scheduled game for tomorrow, and the JV has played Valley twice already in a doubleheader, so they decided to cancel the JV game and play 2 varsity games. Again, it'll be AV, Valley, and St. Genevieve. As you see, strike 1 from Wyatt Lomadier. The batter is number 27. Kern. And there's ball 1.
I also noticed out there, Rob, in left center field, they do have the new scoreboard up. We'll try to give you guys a look at it here, maybe between innings. It's really nice, isn't it?
It does look really nice. Not working yet. We're, as far as we're still using the old one. I'm sure there's some electric, as you see, strike there on Kern. Some electric probably still, but as far as the board itself, it is up and definitely adds to this beautiful field already. So we do have a 1-2 count here. And there's a little changeup, looked like, and there's a fly ball to right field. Camden comes in, a sliding catch, and makes the first out of the inning. So kind of a line drive, not a hard line drive, but stayed low enough, kind of hard to judge, but Rowe did a decent enough job to run in and slide and make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, it looks like Wyatt's found a little bit more of a groove, throwing more strikes here. Now he's just got to let his defense play behind him and hopefully strand these 2 runners this first inning.
Well, it's been a big thing we hate to keep talking about, but walks from the pitchers is killers. I mean, on any level. It seems like if you walk a couple guys, they'll find a way to get around. As there's a ball outside. Batting for the Pirates, we have Fears.
1 of 2 Fears. I'm not sure which brother this is.
1 of 2 Fears. This is number 36 Fears. There's strike 1 as he swings and misses through that one. Twins or same age, do you know?
I don't know. I know he is DHing for the pitcher today.
So Fears is the DH. So a 1-1 count here, 1 out. We do have runners on first and second, and that ball gets away from Wyatt. Looked like he was trying to throw some kind of off-speed curveball and slipped out of the hand. That'll be ball 2. So now the runner is able to move up on that wild pitch. So the Pirates now have 2 runners in scoring position as they have runners on second and third, and that's Steffens and Dix are on the base path who both walked to start off the inning. And there's ball high, 3-1 the count. And here's the pitch from Lomadier. Again, that's ball 4 high. So a 3rd walk in the inning as Fears trots down to first, and that will load the bases. And now batting number 5, Unterreiner. Unterreiner.
We'll try to give you a shot of the scoreboard while Coach McDaniel is out there talking.
Yeah, pretty nice. You get the, obviously the balls and strikes and outs, but in this scoreboard you can see that it has every inning. You see a lot of scoreboards and high school now going to that, and so you're going to see what each team has done each inning as far as runs go. So, and real nice big Yanks field, home of the Dragons on top. Guess can we mention some sponsors? Well, we got Stoll and Balsler and Bloom. Bloom. Fowler Bus Service, Barley's Automotive, and Dairy Queen Grill and Chill. So appreciate those sponsors helping, I guess, pay for the scoreboard. So again, we have number 5, Unterreiner stepping in. He'll have bases loaded as he looks at strike 1. And he looked like he was just taken automatically.
Yeah, and I can understand that too.
So 0-1 the count. Again, 1 out. And he chases that one up, fouls it back. Strike 2. So Lomadier getting ahead in the count in this one. Something he's needed to do. And here's the 0-2 pitch. And he chases up, swings and misses for strike 3. So Unterreiner strikes out, and that's the second out of the inning. And in brings number 7, the other Fears, to bat.
Quay, I believe.
Quay?
I thought that's what I heard.
Yeah,
I thought that's what Clayton
Clayton, well, And that's ball high on Fears. Guess you can trust Clayton. And here's the pitch. And that's a ball outside, ball 2. So nowhere to put him as the bases are loaded. 2 outs in the top of the first for the Pirates. And here's the pitch. And there's ball 3 high. So 3-0 count. Not where you want to do, nowhere to put him. It's always tough to pitch knowing that. And here it is, and there's ball outside, ball 4. So that'll walk in a run, and the Pirates will take the lead 1-0. Now batting number 32, Johnson, for the Pirates. And there is ball outside. So not only is Wyatt struggling, the strike zone does seem a little tight. There's strike 1, brings the count to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's strike 2. Another good pitch on the outside corner from Lamonier. So 1-2 the count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Everybody playing in a normal position. And there's a ground ball to third. That's going to be a tough play. Kemper charging, going to go to first, and he's not in time. And that'll score another run. So Johnson on the infield hit was able to score Dix.
You know, there's where those walks really come back to hurt you.
Yeah, you know, there's a little dink hit. You threw strikes, and not much you could do about that. Kemper's playing in a normal spot. That ball, just a real high chopper, didn't go very far, and just not be able to get there in time. So the Pirates now have a 2-0 lead as we have number 9 for the Pirates. Roberts. And there's strike 1. 1-1 the count. Yep, the two guys that scored are the 2 guys that were walked off the start. And there's strike 2. 1-2. We do have some action in the bullpen over here as Drew Toombs is warming up. And there's strike 3. So Walmonder able to strike out Roberts for the 3rd out of the inning, but not after the Pirates score 2 runs off 3 walks and 1 hit. Or no, 4 walks.
4 walks.
Yep. 4 walks and 1 hit. So again, not the way the Dragons wanted to start that one. So hopefully they can come back and pick up some runs here in the bottom of the first.
You know, one thing I've kind of noticed with this team, Coach Coleman, is you know, we've faced some good teams and had real good ball games when we've had pitching duels. And, you know, I look back at the last Potosi game we had, and, you know, we give up 2 runs early in the first, and then, you know, we end up losing 2-0. And we've talked about how we've struggled in hitting, but, you know, if we can face a team that, you know, will make 1 or 2 mistakes, it seems like we really feed on those mistakes. You know, I take a look at some of the other games that we've had where we've scored, you know, up at St. Pius, we scored like 17, 18 runs, something like that. We've scored 6 and 7, and a lot of times if you, you know, if a defense makes a mistake or 2, then it just seems like these guys really like to take that mistake and feed off of it like sharks in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, maybe, you know, a good way to look at it is, you know, they need some confidence. They need to know, hey, we can do this, and maybe it seems like it takes something for, you know, maybe kind of bad for the other team. Or maybe just a couple of guys to get on a roll, which momentum is always key in every sport that you play, and that's big. And we've mentioned before, as the Dragons, seems like they score later in the game. Right. But, you know, the one thing you can't do is get so far behind, you know, that you can't dig yourself out of that hole.
Right, and it looks like we do have some switching in what has been the batting order. It is now Derek Morgenthaler is going to be leading us off instead of Wyatt Lamondier.
And he looks at ball 1. Morgenthaler is batting .435 on the season.
That could be why.
Yep. His on-base percentage is .536. So Again, one of the big ones. Kind of the leading one. Jake Brewster does have a 667 on base.
Three times.
Yeah, batted
Four
three
times.
times. So. And there's a strike one against Morgan Thaler, so the count is 2-1.
Yeah, I notice he and Waylon Kemper have moved up, and they now have Lalamandir and Giesler and Boyer moved down a little bit with Grant Staffen down in the 7 hole.
Yeah, Staffen was usually batting second in most games, but his on-base percentage is kind of low at 300. And, you want guys that are getting on base up in the front of the lineup as Morgan Thaler swings through that one. And that'll bring the count to full 3-2.
Looking for the pitcher that Perryville's got here, it doesn't look like he's really overwhelming, but he's throwing strikes,
And that's key, as we found out in the first.
Except that one.
Yeah, hey, you talked about it and it helped us out. As I was going to say, is key, as you could see in the first, top of the first, where we walked the first 2 batters and they came around to score. So Morgan Thaler does get hit by the pitch. And is now down at first base, and in steps Kemper, number 5. As he sees strike one, Kemper is batting .235 on the season. He struck out 8 times and walked 8 times. And he fouls that one out of play, and now he's behind in the count 0-2.
Waylon's done a really good job this year. He's been down and lower in the lineup, but still finding a way to put the bat in the ball. Sometimes, they are outs because he's not hitting that great, but he's not standing up there taking a bunch of strikes and striking out.
Yeah, you don't want that. You wonder, though, you talked about changing the lineup. Usually you have a typical lineup as there's ball one, as you got some speed on your leadoff batter. Not that I'm going to call Derek slow, but definitely not what Wyatt Lamander was.
No, right.
There at that leadoff spot. And then usually you want a guy that can at least maybe bunt a lot of times, or it's going to make contact.
Right.
And I don't normally know if Kemper, again, haven't seen him enough, is he a bunting type player to move a guy over?
I would anticipate if someone around the base pass like Wyatt, he probably would be here. With Derek, it's another issue. Again, trying not to say
And there's
that
a
Derek
steal
is
by
slow.
Morgan Thaler as
Good.
Kemper grounds the ball to third. And
Great job to be in motion there to stay out of the double play.
Yeah. Not sure if it was a hit and run, but whether it was a steal or hit and run, it did work. They moved the runner down, and so now we got 1 out with Morgan Thaler down at second base. In steps Wyatt Lamander. Wyatt is batting .302 on the season, and with a .456 on-base percentage. He has walked 15 times, and there's a base hit to left field. Derek had to slow up, so he's going to stop at third, as it was had an idea it was going down, but wasn't exactly sure. So
that was a tough one there because it was hit kind of right at the left fielder, and he looked like he might be going for it for the catch, and so Derek had to freeze for a moment to see if he could catch it, and didn't give him an opportunity to score. But hopefully Dalton here, being the cleanup hitter, can bring at least 1 run around.
Yeah, so now you got first and third with 1 out. Like you mentioned, Giesler coming to bat, and he is batting .308. And he has a .419 on base percentage. He does have 11 RBIs on the season, which is tied for second. Him and Brady Boyer both have 11, and Grant Staffen is leading with 12, as there's ball 1 in the dirt. With 1 out here, I would expect Lamander to be stealing to, even if he gets thrown out, I think the idea would be get out of the double play,
right.
So first and third, try to make something happen. As there's a strike, he does steal, and they throw it down and went all the way through the infield. So Morgan Thaler is able to score from third on an error, I would say, from the catcher. As I was getting ready to say, is to make something happen, make the Pirates either, give you the base or make them make a play. And it looked like they had the cutoff play that most teams do. And I'm not sure if it was a read or was it just that bad of a throw, but the second baseman didn't cut it off, and then the shortstop wasn't able to catch it either at the base.
Yeah, no, as Wyatt, and I apologize I didn't turn the camera, but as Wyatt went in, it was really awkward. The shortstop was over the bag, and as Wyatt slid in, it was completely blocking it, and Wyatt slid into him, and I don't know if they knocked knees or got twisted around a little bit, but he's out there trying to shake it off. That's Steffens out there at shortstop.
Yeah, I think probably the reason why he was over the base is because of the throw. The throw was way on this side of the base.
I just think an incidental contact, you know. And
so, again, on that play, Morgan Thaler was able to score, so that brings it to 2-1. Still in the Pirates' favor. And we have a runner on second. Giesler is going to ground that one. That's going to get to the shortstop as he throws across, and in time, he's out at first. And good base running by Wyatt Lomonder, able to move over to third.
Center fielder, number 30, Brady Boyer.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like they were checking for maybe an appeal because he seen he was screened, but I think he was out.
Well, honestly, what he was asking for there is, and I've seen it happen a lot, is the first baseman didn't have his toe on the bag.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't recognize that point. And there is a base hit. That's by Boyer, and there's a reason why he is in that spot, and that's because he does now lead the team in RBIs. Well, tied. With Staffen with 12 RBI. So a base hit and an RBI by Boyer. So Lomond, you're able to score, and now we got a tied 2-2 game. In steps Drew Toombs. He is DHing again for Camden Road. Drew is batting .292 with a .417 on base percentage. He has walked 10 times, and has scored 9 runs, and has 14 hits as he grounds the ball to short, and they'll take the easy out at flipping over to second to get Boyer. So the Dragons able to at least score 2 and tie the game back up. So kind of start back over it even as we go into the top of the second inning. And coming up for the Pirates will be the 9th hitter, Mueller, and then the top of the order. Let's see here. You know, the bad thing, Wyatt, I would say I tried to track some of the pitches, but kind of lost track. I bet he's close to 30 pitches.
Well, I do have that. I can actually tell you.
Well, I mean, you don't have to add it all up, but I know in the first 4 batters, he was almost to 20, about 18 or so.
34 pitches.
34 pitches, so I'm not going to be able to go very deep unless he just gets, some quick outs and through the next few innings. But hopefully he can get on track now that he's got an even score back.
Yeah, and Wyatt's one of those pitchers when he finds his groove that's kind of a strikeout pitcher, and those guys typically their pitch counts get up anyway.
Yeah.
They're I'm not going to say he can pitch to contact, but he's more of the pitcher that's going to go out there, throws really hard, going to look to maybe at times overwhelm you and get strikeouts, and that leads to at least sometimes 4 and 5, 6 pitches per hitter.
Yeah, because you usually don't strike out guys 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Usually at this level, because if you got a 0-2 count, then you're probably going to waste a pitch. Get him to chase, and most of the time you won't get that. So, like you said, you're going to have to throw more than at least 3 pitches.
And even if you throw 4 to 5, I mean that's 50. If you go 1, 2, 3, that's 15 pitches an inning.
Yeah. Martinez pitching last night for the Cardinals. I know there was 2 innings in a row that I think it was 7 and 8.
Yeah.
But again, that's pitching where they're just popping up. I think they had 3 pop flies. They're getting outs by them hitting the ball and not striking out. So we do have again the 9th batter for the Pirates, and that's Mueller. And he watches ball 1, and now he swings through. Strike 1, so 1-1 the count.
It looks like Charlie Underwood behind the plate's going to have one of those, an offensive kind of strike zone. The pitchers are really going to have to do a good job putting it exactly where they want it.
There was a ground ball to Henson and not able to pick it up, and the throw pulled Vaith off. Not sure if he had been out even if the throw was on the bases. Again, a little dribbler, and Henson not able to get to it quick enough and make the out at first. I don't know. Would you rule that a infield hit, or you think that was an error?
I'm glad I don't have to make the official ruling.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, I wasn't sure if he'd be out or not, even on the throw, but the throw was off the base, as there's a foul from Steffens, who's our leadoff batter. So we have 0-1 the count.
Stephens did walk last time. I don't know if you said that, Coach Coleman.
I don't believe I did. And there's looked like a hit and run, and it is going to work perfectly for the Pirates as that ball squeaks past Vaith over at first base, and that means the runner, Mueller, is able to move all the way over to third on that base hit. He had a good jump, was at least halfway to second when the ball was hit, and because of that, he was able to move over to third. So we have first and third with no outs here in the top of the second. And in brings Dix, number 3 for the Pirates. CC's ball 1. So now we have first and third here for the Pirates. We'll see what they decide to do and what the Dragons can do at this situation. The Dragons were able to score 1 run when they were in this situation. And there's a ground ball to Staffen. He goes to Henson and a quick throw. Oh, and Vaith unable to make the grab. The runner is out at second, but now Dix will move up to first. And the runner did score, which they were giving up the run for the double play, which I think early in the game here, and it's tied, that is fine. But then we didn't make the catch at second or at first. Vaith missed the play at first. The ball rolled to, you can see it, the ball rolled to the dugout, and able then for the runner Dix to move up to second. So with all that, the Pirates scored 1 run on a, would you call that an error?
I would say there's an error there.
I mean, I don't know if you have fielder's choice error. I don't know how that works since they went to second first.
That's true. But he did take the extra base, so there's got to be an error there somewhere.
So the Pirates now take the lead again, 3-2, with a runner on second, 1 out, and we have a 2-0 count here on Kern, number 27. He flied out to right field, a little line drive out at Camden Row the last time up. And there's a ground ball to second. Staffen comes over and makes the play, and we get the out at first.
Sorry, folks. I'm doing a very poor job at moving the camera, and I will try to get better.
Well, it's tough. You really need 3 guys to do this. You know, you're trying to talk, keep the scorebook, and do the camera, and so I think you guys at home will understand that.
We don't even know if there are people at home watching.
That is true. We could just be doing this for our enjoyment. We just sound good to ourselves, huh? We could talk to each other over these microphones.
Right.
So 2 outs now here in the top of the second with a runner on third. And that is the Fears, first, number 36, Fears, who's DHing, swings through that pitch for strike 1.
And he did walk last at bat.
Here's the second pitch from Wyatt Lomender, and that's a ball outside, brings the count to 1-1. Yeah, we're probably not smart enough to figure out, at least I know I'm not, if anybody's watching.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to do that either.
Your wife does a great job. And there's a line drive to right field. Little one hopper out there at Camden Row brings it in, but that's an RBI for Fears as Dix is able to come around and score. So that'll bring the Pirates to 4-2 lead here in the top of the second. And in brings number 5, Unterreiner, with a runner on first. And there's strike 1.
Well, Unterreiner did strike out in his at bat in the first inning for the second out of the inning. You found a little shade, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to step back here for a second. And there's a ball outside. Should have put some sunscreen on. Not that I do it all the time. As you can see, I'm pretty reddish burnt already. And there's ball 2, 2-1 the count. And strike 2 as Unterreiner swings through that one. So 2's on the board. We have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, second inning. Dragons have 2 runs. And there's a ball on the turf as the runner goes, and Giesler, a nice little scoop, tried to throw from his knees, but from that position and from that pitch, not going to be there in enough time. Good effort. So that'll be a stolen base by Fears. And a 3-2 count, I believe.
I believe you're right.
As Clayton Gex not paying attention over there. We'll call error number 1 on him. There's a little ground ball, big hopper. Tough to play by Staffen, but he makes it, throws to first for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Pirates able to add 2 more to what they did in the first inning, and now they're doubled up the Dragons 4-2. Up for the Dragons will be, let's see here, Grant Staffen will lead us off. Daniel Vaith will bat second, and Henson will bat third.
A little tardy on the scoreboard also.
Just keep it 2-2 and it'll look good, look better. You know how many pitches was that inning? We'll try to keep it running total, just that inning.
Mm-hmm. Nineteen, so much better for Lamadere, but still giving up 2 runs. Don't believe he walked any that time, so he's throwing strikes, but the Pirates are able to get 3 hits on that one. No walks and 2 runs. And I believe we had at least 1 error, maybe 2, was the issue that inning, along with the hits. So again, we'll step up for the first time to bat will be Grant Staffen. May have only been, it was only 2 hits. That's
2 hits.
The one was a 4-6-1 error double play-ish. It was a fielder's choice.
Yeah. Staffen is batting .236 on the season. He has a .300 on-base percentage. He's only walked 5 times. He does have 12 RBIs on 13 hits. Unfortunately for Staffen, the one that sticks out is the 10 strikeouts, which is the most on the team, which might be a reason why he's moved down a little bit.
Yeah.
And he has a 2-0 count.
You know, I think Grant had some pressure up there in the 2-hole, with Wyatt being on some. Wyatt walked a lot, and this gives him an opportunity to relax a little bit and, not feel that as much pressure and get back to hitting because, start of the season, him and Brady, the 2 freshmen that played a lot, were both, really solid hitters for us near the top of the lineup.
Yeah. And that's ball 4. I know some people might think, well, what's the difference? They bat first, they bat third, they bat fifth, they bat ninth. But, and technically, I guess when you go up there, you're batting just the same. But, the situations that you're put in at different times can make a difference. In the pitcher's mind, you might make a difference. Usually the better guys at the top. But it just seems like it works out. I know the Cardinals are talking about Diaz. They're, and the streak, the hitting that he's done at the beginning of the season, and he's down in the bottom of the order. And the question was asked Matheny, when are you going to move him up? And it's like, why do that? We don't see the need. And not that he never will. It might happen, but sometimes, you got a good thing going, you don't change it. So we do have a runner on first as Staffen walked, and there's Vaith. He pulls that one to first, and he steps on the bag for the first out. So Staffen able to move down to second on the ground ball hit by Vaith, and then brings Brandon Henson. Henson has the only 17 at bats. Again, he doesn't always bat for himself. He has a 176 average, 222 on base percentage. Does have 3 hits on the season, 1 RBI, as he's behind in the count 0-1. And here's the pitch, and he grounds that right back to the pitcher. He looks at Staffen, throws to first, and good base running by Staffen is, they throw it away. Ooh, and almost went over the fence. And that would have been a run for the Dragons. So a ground ball back to the pitcher. And the pitcher might have.
Yeah, I think if he had a run at Grant, I think he would have been in trouble.
Could have had him there, but didn't. Went to first, so Staffen able to move over to third on, again, that ground ball out by Henson. So we're back to the top of the order with Derek Morgenthaler. As that pitch is inside, ball one.
Derek was hit by a pitch in that first at bat, and after bringing the count to full.
Morgenthaler does have 8 RBIs on the season.
Be nice to get a ninth one right here.
And there's a little drive to left field. That's going to be foul, about halfway down the outfield. So he's a little late on that one. I was, I don't know if it's from the view. He's batting left, but his swing's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's almost
a lunging swing.
Yeah, and a lot of wrist. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a big baseball guy as far as
worked for him.
Knowing the hitting. Yeah, not saying he's doing it wrong. It just looks different as he drives that one to right center, and that's going to doesn't make it all the way to the fence. Kind of dies, but a double, an RBI double for Derek Morgenthaler. So Toombs asked for an RBI to make it 9, and Morgenthaler heard him and gives it to him. So the Dragons cut the lead to 1 now as the score is 4-3. So a nice piece of hitting by Derek Morgenthaler as he wanted to prove that his swing does work on that one.
Yeah, he put a good swing on that one.
Did. Thought I was going to get to the fence, but
right center field.
It just died right before it, and there's ball 1 to Kemper. Kemper does have 8 RBIs on the season. Let's make his 9 too. What do you say? And there's a ground ball to short, and the throw to first, and he's out. So the Dragons able to get at least one of those runs back to bring the score to 4-3. Again, that run was off of Derek Staffen scored off of Derek Morgenthaler double to right center. Coming up for the Pirates, I might have missed some. I believe it's Fears, the second Fears, 27, yes. Number 7, Johnson, number 32, and then Roberts, number 9.
Correct. So, Coach Coleman, I know this is a time of year as we start winding down the school year, and everybody knows this is spring season is, past halfway and different things. So as the summer starts approaching, I'm sure you're starting to think about things over the summer when it comes to the basketball and the stuff you're going to do over the summer. So what kind of things you got going on this summer with the basketball team?
Well, really just probably the same typical stuff. We, do a camp, but our camp's going to be a little bit different. Usually we've picked 2 weeks or at least 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and head camp. And this year, one of the gyms is going to be shut down through June, which is the big month that we do all of our stuff in. And so we're kind of all the sports are jammed into the high school gym, and
right.
Because of that, so we're going to have our camp's going to be a little different, couple days a week rather than 2 kind of weeks straight.
Okay.
And we spend our camp time, doing a lot of skill work, maybe talking a little bit about plays, especially with the incoming freshmen, but it's really just come in and work out in skills. And then we play in a league. The JV plays in a league at Grandview on Monday nights. The varsity plays a league at Hillsborough on Wednesday nights. And then we have a Branson trip that we do. And we definitely take one team. We'd like to take 2 if we get enough guys going. Usually we've done that all but last year. We only took 1 team last year. And that's really fun for the kids. Is
good to build teams.
Yeah. Lomder starts with the ball there. I mean, you get a lot of games in a couple days, which is I really like because you're playing back-to-back. You can kind of change things right away. It's not where you play 2 days later. Then you go back out. So it's kind of nice to play a lot of games in a short amount of time, and you see a huge improvement over that time too, and things that you want to try the next game and the next game. And like you said, in team building, we usually do some go-karts and kind of have a evening out as far as the team and doing some things. And so the kids have liked it, and there's a strike after 3 straight balls for Lomondere. And the parents even enjoyed it.
Right.
I talked about 1 year not going, and they were like, "What?" Because a lot of parents, they get to do some shopping. There's ball 4 from Lomondere's number 7 Fears.
That's his
trots
second
down.
walk tonight. He also walked in the first inning.
And here comes Coach McDaniel to talk. So the parents get to do some of them go shop and they don't even watch the games.
Yeah.
A lot of the moms and then other families will stay longer. I think we've done that. I think you've done that maybe before, or went down earlier, or what
Right.
it may be. So they kind of get to have a little vacation out of it, and not with a lot of money, not a huge long drive, and so it seems like it works. And that's probably the biggest thing we do in the summer is as far as a team.
So it looks like Coach McDaniel going out there did go ahead and make a pitching change.
It is Toombs coming in, and let's see if we.
I did see where Lalamandiri told him to go out to center.
So it looks like I would guess Rowe then will come out of the game completely, and Toombs will just be still batting in his spot, and then Lamandir goes to the outfield. Boyer will go from center to right. Again, Rowe is in right, and he will come off. Yeah, we have contact days in the summer and dead periods, and I don't mind the dead periods. The contact days kind of get you. Not that you want to spend every day. I mean, but this year it's down to 20 days, and that's. I don't know that we did more than 25. It used to be 25 that we ever went over that or wanted to go over that. Right. So that number wasn't a killer. 20, it does kind of hurt you a little bit. And the thing that gets me is the reasoning. I like the dead periods. Mm-hmm. I think that's good for the kids. They can't do anything. No sport can do anything with their kids, and it gives time for maybe vacations or just the kids to have their breaks. I don't mind those. Maybe even put 2 dead weeks. Yeah. It wouldn't bother me. But I think it hurts because, you take away – because when the contact days is one kid with a basketball counts for a day.
Exactly.
So when your JV plays, your varsity kids just lost a day.
Yeah.
And vice versa. When the varsity plays on Wednesday night and, the JV kids, they just lost a day to get better at a sport, like basketball. And it really hurts a kid that wants to improve, a kid that wants to come in maybe on his own and get individual work. You really can't do individual work.
Right.
You don't have the days to do it. So I don't – I mean, there's ways around it, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Which is what I think bigger schools and our kids go and play on these other teams, or they have honestly, they have a dad that takes them and does this so it don't count for a day, and then you can use them otherwise, which I guess is an option. But it really, I think it hurts the smaller schools, because they don't necessarily have those options to go do all those other things.
Sure.
But. All right, so we did have a pitching change. Again, we have Drew Toombs on the mound, and there's a bunt, and Toombs able to grab it. He's going to go to second. He does get the lead runner. Nice play by Drew Toombs to pop off the mound. Heard Dalton Giesler yell 2-2-2, and Toombs able to turn and throw a strike right at Staffen for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good job there by both pitcher and catcher. Dalton realizing that there was still enough time after Drew popped up from field to have one to still get that guy.
Yeah, and as a pitcher, you can't really look, should I? You got to take, the catcher's word for it. And the catcher, you have to make a decision right away. You can't, wait either. I mean, and so a great play by both those guys.
And I didn't get it on film again.
That's okay. Toombs has pitched 34 innings. He's been in 6 games. Has a 2-3 record as they bunt again. And this time they're going to go to first. So, again, they're bunting, I think, to move the runner down. That was number 9, Roberts, who did that. So we have 2 outs with a runner on second. Again, some stats for Toombs is he struck out 28, walked 19. He does have a 2.471 ERA. Lamandir probably just, he was just struggling high up in pitches. He was at 53 or so after the second inning. And then another walk.
Yeah, he had 6 pitches this inning.
Yeah, 53. So he was at 60 pitches already and just didn't seem to have it. So there's a foul ball, and that's strike 2 on number 1, Mueller. So again, 2 outs, runner on second. and you don't want to get the game. You got a one-run game, so why try to battle through?
Yeah.
And
well, it saves enough pitches that we do have a doubleheader tomorrow, and if Wyatt needs to come in as a relief pitcher, he hasn't thrown too many.
Yeah. So I think it's a good call by Coach McDaniel. And there's a pitch that's low, kind of golfed up. Lominier came in first, and it's over his head, and so that'll be an RBI double.
Wow.
By Mueller. So again, a misplaced or misjudged. Sorry, Wyatt Lominier. I know the sun is right there directly and at him when he's looking at. So I don't know if that had to do anything. The ball was almost golfed up. He just, I guess you go back. Your first step should be backwards. These are run forward, and he just kind of came in way too fast, and the ball carried over his head. So that gives another run for the Pirates as they have a 5-3 lead. And there's a little ground ball to third. Kemper's going to take the hop. Oh, bobbles it, and we have an error on Kemper. So now we have first and third with 2 outs. So number 3, Garrett Dix will come to bat. I believe Garrett has walked and reached on an error, or fielder's choice last time. So again, 2 outs, first and third, as Toombs checks on the runner at first. So let's see what the Pirates decide to do in this situation.
I think Drew here, he's just got to go after the hitter. He's had 2 instances where he's, given them pitches to hit. And
strike one, yep.
Just haven't got out of the inning, so.
Yeah, frustrating, it definitely as a pitcher when that happens. I mean, and you just got to keep going. Keep throwing strikes, and it's easier for us to say it than him to be down there and do it, and just hope that the next one is the play is made. So we have a 1-1 count here against Dix, and the runner goes from first, and there's a foul ball down the right side. Looks like, almost looked like a hit and run because that pitch was outside and he was swinging.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to have Dalton here call for the curveball that Drew throws pretty consistently.
He does have a really good curveball. So 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Runners at first and third, and there's the pitch, and there's that breaking ball, and he fouls it off. Just barely got a piece of it. You are psychic.
Well, I don't know about that.
You either know the game or you know your son. Or
I know he probably shook it off until he got the curveball.
So, again, another 1-2 count here. We are in the top of the third. A lot of baseball still to play. It seems like we've been here for a while, and there's one in the turf, and not going to have a play at first. So Geezer didn't quite get to it fast enough, and that's Mueller scoring for third. That allows Steffens to move down to second. So now the score is 6-3.
Again, that's where you just got to go after that batter.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to get another breaking ball and just kind of hit before the plate. And there he sticks the bat out, grounds to first. He touches, and that's the third out of the inning. So the Pirates able to add 2 runs on, I believe, 1 walk.
1 walk and a hit.
And 1 hit. And I would say 2 errors, probably.
Well, the one by Wyatt can't be an error. But we did have the one on Whalen and the pass.
Kempers and the
pass ball, which isn't an error, but it is, in a way.
So the Pirates again leading 6-3 as we head into the bottom of the third inning. So you talk about the year winding down and the season's halfway through. A lot of the spring sports, and I know that track will be in golf. I think will be getting into their conference or districts.
Yeah, golf just had conference.
Yes.
We did have 2 of our golfers get all conference. Jacob Tomier was, I believe, 6th or 5th, and then Trevor Drury was 2nd in the conference. And great job there by Trevor. I know he had got to a point where he felt like he was struggling. And, golf's one of those games you can battle against yourself sometimes,
Talk about mental.
We both play. We're not, I'm going to say I'm not very good, but I enjoy playing.
Either, yeah.
But, I think he was battling against himself a little bit and losing some confidence in himself. And, to come and end up second in conference, that's a great thing. And Trevor's a very good golfer, and we have a lot of good golfers. But they'll be getting ready to start district soon. And track Friday, I believe, is the conference track meet. Yeah. And it is at St. John this year. And so, all the conference teams will be coming to the conference track meet on Friday. And, I anticipate our girls' team should fare pretty decent as they've won just about every meet that they've taken full teams to, and we'll have some boys that'll do very well.
So exciting stuff going on. The baseball team will end up being the same way, getting into their conference tournament, right?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't look at the dates after this week.
Yeah, we've got this week, and then conference tournament starts next.
So we have Wyatt Lomadier, who's leading off this inning, and he has a 1-1 count. Lomadier had a base hit last time up at bat. So he's back at a leadoff spot as far as starting the inning, and tried a little drag bunt there. Knows the third baseman playing pretty far back. Coming from that left side, if you can drag and get out of the box pretty quick, and the speed. And
I did get confirmation from my wife. We do have 6 people out there watching.
6 people. So great.
We're not just talking to ourselves.
That's nice to know. And there's a drive to right center. Oh, center did kind of the same thing Wyatt did. And Lomadier able to it looked like he was going to go to third, but held up at second.
Boy, that would have been fun to see him go there.
It would have been. I think because and I didn't, Coach McGain don't know this, but because of the way the actual ball was thrown, it was thrown between the two cutoff guys and bounced. So would have definitely been a good chance for Wyatt to make it. But the center fielder, I know it wasn't straight at him like Wyatt's was, but he kind of took an angle in first, and the ball carried over his head. And Giesler pops it up.
That might end up in the back of your truck.
Nope. Not even close.
Here we're starting to get into where the weather's warming up and stuff like that, and I think you see the ball are jumping more than it did early season when we were dealing with the weather that wasn't great.
There's ball high, and, that's, I guess, something to do with the bats being colder. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference. Or
I'm
the ball.
I'm not a science guy.
Me neither. So 1-1 pitch, and that one's in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Dragons again trailing 6-3 here in the bottom of the third inning. Who's the pitcher? I never even. Oh, it's a little ground ball to short. Nice job by Wyatt Lomadier to get back. Was almost tagged.
Yeah.
And Dalton Giesler is out at first. You got the pitcher's name?
I didn't get it all down. It starts with an F.
Starts with an F. I was going to say, I don't think I've said his
have a program
his
either.
name. Yeah. So in steps Brady Boyer. Brady picked up an RBI. His first time at bat, I believe, with a base hit. And I think that was same thing was Wyatt down at third the last time too. Brady got his hit.
I believe he was.
So let's see if we can do it again to pick up another run. There's ball 1 against Brady. And there's ball 2 outside. And Wyatt Lomadier moved from second to third on the pass ball or wild pitch by the Pirates. And there's a pop fly out to right center. Lomadier looks like he's going to tag. The catch is made, and there's no attempt, no throw. And now we have 2 outs. So not quite deep enough to score the runner, and in steps Drew Toombs, who again now is pitching. Toombs again does have 9 RBIs on the season. 4 doubles and 10 singles, 14 total hits. And there's ball up and in.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to see that Drew's probably not going to have many triples. But, He can get some doubles.
Hey, yeah, you never know. How we just hit it over the fence, and there's a balk. So a run will score. Lamoneer will get the trot in nice and easy on the balk by the Pirates pitcher. It's a name that starts with an F. I think he kind of, Lamoneer, I seen him kind of flinch a little bit over there at third. He was kind of jumping around, and I think the pitcher started to make a movement, and then I guess seen Lamoneer as Toombs swings through that one and stopped and then took off again. So we have a 1-1 count, 2 outs, and now the score is 6-4. And here's the pitch, and Toombs swing, good swing, swings through that one, strike 2. It looks like we will be getting a roster. We can know who the pitcher is. And Mr. There's ball 2, 2-2.
Thank you there to Coach Schweiss, who threw that up to us.
You need to tell him to get up here and talk.
Yeah, I know.
So Mr. F is Favier, F-A-V-I-E-R. Favier? Is that how you would say that?
Sounds good to me.
Favier? Reminds me of Officer Farva. Super Troopers. Favier. So he's working into his third inning of work. And Toombs able to foul that one, but it's going to stay in play. The catcher moves over and makes the play as he falls backwards. So that'll end the inning. But the Dragons able to score 1 run to make it 6-4. So again,
we need a clean defensive inning here is what we really need.
Yeah, I don't think we've had one yet. No, I mean, either the walks in the first inning, the errors, and really the next two, the second and third inning, really has hurt the Dragons. So I agree. How about a 1-2-3 inning and come back in the bat? Let's see here. Who do we have coming up for the Pirates? I missed who batted last.
We're starting with Kern.
Starting with Kern, number 27. And then we'll have the first Fears, number 36, and that is Cameron Fears. And then Unterreiner, number 5, will bat. So any big things going on at school? I know they had a great, you'll have to help me, I don't know, being in the middle school, it wasn't really announced or anything, but with Coach Bonnell's group that he has with his daughter.
Right. They had a program where he sold shirts and then took some donations for what they're calling Harper's Homies, which is his daughter Harper.
Harper's Homies.
Who has juvenile diabetes, to raise some money for juvenile diabetes. And a great thing there by Coach Bonnell and the faculty and everybody to be able to do that and raise over $1,100 for juvenile diabetes.
Yeah.
And, I know they battle every day getting through that. And, it's just those kind of people that you want to reach out to and, be able to help in any way you can.
And it's great. It's great to see the way our staff and our school and is able to help. And you just like Coach Bonnell, you wouldn't know it. He's not, complaining or anything like that. And you wouldn't know the guys and people in general that have those issues at home and just battle. And like you said, they work through it and they move on. And it's a tough thing. Nothing that I have never had to deal with anything personally with myself or any family members. So, we sure hope everything works out the best that it can with Coach Bonnell. And just on that topic, as far as helping, I mean, another instance, not as a big deal, but I sent something out as far a basketball player, a middle schooler, to play on a team. And, that family, there's a ground ball to short. Hinson charges and not in time. Didn't make the play in time, didn't get there. A slow roller to Hinson. So the Pirates will lead off with an infield hit. The family, the kid struggles with money and wanted to play on this team. And I was just asking him to buy some cards and to help. And I just had donations of money, come. And it just shows you, again, the type of school and community that we have. So, again, the Pirates led off with, an infield hit. And in steps number 36, Cameron Fears, We have a runner on first with no outs and a strike one.
Fears has yet to be retired today. He started out the first inning and walked, and then had a single in the second inning.
You know, they don't want to be retired, and me and you probably want to be retired as Fears.
Yes.
Tries that one to right center, and the runner from first will move all the way over to third, so we'll have first and third with no outs. So again, we want to be retired.
That's true.
I still have a long way to go. I don't know what you got. But
I got less than 2 hands.
Less than 2 hands. Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I don't. I have. Not that I'm trying to show age difference here. I'm just.
Oh, there's quite a bit.
In steps number 5, Unterreiner, with first and third no outs. He swings through that one or was that a foul tip?
It's foul tip.
Foul tip.
Yeah.
As it came back, and I think it got Giesler's throwing hand. So the umpire goes out and talks to Toombs a little bit and gives Giesler some time to shake it off.
Yeah, I probably started in education. I probably could have had you as a student, in fact, Coach Coleman. My first.
When was your
my
first high school?
High school graduation year when I was teaching was '96.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could have. You don't look old enough, though. I'll tell you that.
Boy, you're being.
I mean,
nice.
if we just took pictures of our hair, our heads, people would think I'm older. I think.
I'm not sure about that.
There's a lot of gray up here on top of this head. I do my best to wet it and gel it so it doesn't look as bad, but and keep it short. As there's is that a foul ball?
Yeah, another foul.
You
He's
got it?
3 foul tips in a row.
I thought maybe he hit the ground and not the ball. But so we have an 0-2 count here on Unterreiner. And we have runners at first and third. Fears doesn't look like he's tried to even remotely steal, but you never know what could happen in this situation. There's a ground ball to third. They're going to go for the guy at home. Great play. Giesler with a good block, catch, and a tag, and he's out at home. So nice job by Kemper to charge to get the play. She threw a strike to Giesler for the first out of the inning. Not only do they stop the runner from scoring, now they've got first and second, so double play is able to be made here to get out of the inning.
Third baseman, number 7.
So Unterreiner reaches base on a fielder's choice as Kern was thrown out at home.
Fears has walked in the first and walked again in the third.
Yes, this is Quaid Fears on this one as he swings and misses.
I was close.
Yeah.
I didn't have the D at the end.
They do not have years as far as what grade they're in, so we don't know if they're in the same grade, same age or not. So we have an 0-1 pitch, and there's a foul ball over our head. 0-2. So, Toombs has done a really good job, with pitching, throwing strikes. Maybe one walk, I think, or none. I don't know if there's.
Not yet.
Not yet, so no walks. Giving up a few hits as there's strike 3 on Mr. Fears for the second out of the inning. Couple hits, couple errors, so he's doing a good job of throwing strikes. In steps number 32, Johnson for the Pirates. And there's a breaking ball, almost a tad bit high.
Johnson walked in the first and got on a fielder's choice in the third, and eventually did come around and score a run.
And we now have 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. There's a foul ball off Giesler's helmet. Probably didn't hurt that noggin.
It takes a special person to want to be a catcher, and Dalton does it just about every varsity game, and done a great job back there. And you can get some battle scars back there.
He is a special person, that's for sure. He told us before to talk him up. There's a foul ball down the right side, hitting the batting cage. Brings the count to 1-2. Before the game, he's standing down here and was like, "Hey, talk me up on the radio," Quite the goofball, I believe.
Here's a good point. We got 2 strikes here, and 2 down. It's time to just go after this hitter and make him swing at your pitch. You're ahead in the count 1-2, so.
Again, we have runners on first and second. And here's the pitch. And there's a line drive just past the diving Vaith. That might score a run. Here comes the throw from Boyer. What a shot from Boyer as he throws him out and home, throws out Fears. Fears was running all the way from second base. Again, diving play. Vaith tried to dive, got just by him. Vaith charges and throws a bullet right to Dalton
that was
Giesler.
Brady threw.
Brady.
Yeah, Brady Boyer. That was a strike to the catcher.
Wow, nice play to save a run and keeps the score 6-4.
Yeah, and we did get an inning that they didn't score in. So
did not score, but let's see here. They did have a one hit.
We had really 3 hits.
Oh, 3 hits.
Yep, 3 hits.
3 hits, no walks, no runs.
2 fielders' choice putouts at the plate. That helped that inning.
And I don't believe there was any errors, was there?
No. So I don't know that we can call it a completely clean inning, but we'll take it.
It's the best so far, and the key is no runs that inning. The first time so far.
Now we need our bottom of our lineup here to come up and work the count, find some ways to get on, let that top of the lineup that's, quite a few of them hitting over 300, give them an opportunity to drive in some runs.
Yeah, with everything that's gone on, I mean, it was a pretty close ball game still.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 runs ain't really much, and when I think about everything that's kind of gone wrong, I guess, for the Dragons for the most part, it seems like it would be a lot less, but they were able to keep chipping away each inning and scoring a few runs.
I think I don't know what the actual error count that Coach McDaniel and his crew will have, but I would say 3 to 4 at least, and a couple misplays. And all I can think of Perryville is really the misplay in center field on a good hit ball by Wyatt. And I think you got to take that and say, hey, we're only down 6-4 with a lot of innings left. So
in steps Grant Staffen. Staffen came in batting .236 with 13 hits. And he has a little dinker back to the pitcher for the first out. Just didn't get much on that one. As you can tell, he's frustrated with himself. In steps number 27, Daniel Vaith.
Daniel last time in the second inning grounded out to the first baseman, his counterpart on the other side.
He came in batting .271 with an on base of .327 as he looks at ball 1. Has walked 4 times, does have 7 RBIs and 13 hits. As the sun goes behind the crowd, there's a little base hit by Vaith over the shortstop's head. Nice hit there. Get a 1-out base hit by Daniel Vaith.
Let's do our best to see if we can get a merry-go-round here going.
They take all those out of the playground these days.
What's up with that?
Dangerous, right? I guess, but that was the best part, getting that thing going and
seeing
jump off.
Yeah. See if you can sling your buddy off.
Yeah. In steps Henson, and he'll pop it up. That could be trouble. Shortstop going back. Center fielder comes in, makes the play for the second out of the inning. I believe Henson's popped up twice now.
Nope. Back to the pitcher in the second inning.
In steps Morgan Thaler.
Derek's been hit by a pitch and a double.
He does have an RBI. That's his 9th of the season. And that's ball inside. Saying that sun behind the cloud feels really good because I don't know if standing up here makes it worse, but it just seems like it's been beating on my face.
Yeah, it has been.
It's not that it's hot. I'm not like sweating like it's miserable out here. There's ball 2. It's just that sun just beating on you.
Yeah.
So Morgan Thaler ahead of the count, 2-0. As the pitcher, Favor. And there's a drive out to center field for the 3rd out of the inning as Morgan Thaler pops up to the center fielder. So the Dragons unable to get any runs here in the bottom of the 4th. So we'll head to the top of the 5th. the Pirates leading 6-4. And we have Roberts leading off for the Pirates, then number 1, Mueller. And back to the top of the order, number 29, Steffens. Things going on at school. We have map testing going on in the elementaries and middle school. That's about over this week, I believe.
Yeah, and then the high school starts with our EOC testing.
EOC, yep. They did have where they took the big ACT.
Right. Last the 19th, we took all juniors took the ACT test that the state pays for, and then our freshmen and sophomores did the English parts of the EOCs, and our seniors went on their senior trip. So it was a big testing day in the high school.
So the state pays for the ACT. Huh?
Yes.
That's nice. I always remember having to go on Saturday and
get the junior year.
They'll pay for it their junior year. That's nice.
Well, they have a special day that each school can. It's not each school can designate a different day. It is that day that you have to give it, and we still have a lot of our students that take it themselves on Saturdays also. But for our kids that wanted to get an idea of their score, maybe had never taken it, and it's also great for those kids that maybe just can't take it, can't afford necessarily or whatever. So.
Yeah, because I don't know what the cost is, but a lot of them will take it a couple times, at least just try to improve their score, because obviously a lot of times the higher the score you get, the more money when it comes to college and being able to get into certain colleges. There's a foul ball. That might be you, Toombs. Can you read? No, almost. Just
close.
Short arms. No.
Felt like a T-Rex.
Yeah. Well out of the reach, but so that's strike 1 on Johnson. Nope, Roberts, sorry. And there's a breaking ball, just a tad bit outside from Toombs. 1-1 the count. Yeah, I thought that was all you.
Well, it's close. Well, I thought it was going to be a lot closer to the end of the
Yeah. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He blows that one by him for strike 2. So 1-2 the count here on the top of the 5th. Again, the Dragons trailing 6-4. And there's ball 2 outside as Toombs did not start today. Wyatt Lominier pitched the first couple innings, and Toombs has come in the last few innings and done a really good job. Has given up a couple runs, but I think might have been on errors. And there's a ground ball to short. Henson able to make the play, throws across, and throws it high and up towards the home plate side of the base. And Vaith makes the catch, but is kind of pulled into the path of the runner, and they collide a little bit. I think they will be okay, but Vaith, you can tell, is shaking a little bit. Maybe hurt the right arm. And in steps the number 9 hitter, number 1, Mueller.
Mueller has reached in the second inning and scored on an error and doubled in the third. I think that was the ball that may have went over Wyatt, if I'm not mistaken.
And he foul tips that one for strike 1. Toombs doing a good job of changing his speeds. I don't know if the curveball's breaking as well as it has in the past, but he's doing a good job of the different speeds, keeping the batters really off balance.
I just got a text from my wife saying that my brother-in-law, Lonnie, does say that I definitely look like I've been teaching since 1996.
There's a ball in the dirt blocked by Giesler, brings the count to 1-2. Well, he's a brother-in-law, right?
Correct.
So we'll leave, Yeah.
Well, a lot of people say we look like we could be brothers. So.
Yeah. So it's just like a brother. Of course, he's not going to say anything nice about you.
No, absolutely.
There's a ball outside. Evens the count 2-2.
It's nice to have him down there. It's again, we do this and, have a lot of people from home that maybe can't be. But, here, my family gets to watch Drew here pitch a little bit. And, her brother, again, is in Jackson. So he's able to watch and be able to see his nephew pitch in this case.
Yeah, it's a neat thing. I mean, 6 people is what we said, so why is such a trouble for such a small audience? Well, that right there. I mean, that's a prime example. If you get one, it means something, too, to be able to watch, maybe some grandparents. Or, I know one time we had a players, Giesler's, dad, I think, was working and, couldn't make it. So if you can get at least one that, it's really worth it. And then I usually go get an email from YouTube because I've liked this channel that we're on. And you'll notice that there'll be 40, 50. As there's a nice, Toombs is going to prove me wrong because I just said the breaking ball hasn't been breaking as well as usual. And he drops that one in there for strike 3. So nice pitch by Drew Toombs. They must. Are we speaking really loud up here? Because Morgan Thaler heard us earlier and drove. We were talking about a swing, and now Toombs does that. But anyway, the YouTube sends me, hey, this was going on, and you can see that there's a drive to center field.
It's top of the lineup
by Steffens for a base hit. That there's 40, 50, 60 views.
Yeah.
So and I know some of the players get to go back and watch and. Other people are viewing it, maybe other schools,
right?
Or who knows. But so we will end up reaching more than 6 people. It took me a while to get there, but I got there.
Yeah.
Got the point.
I knew where you were going.
So we got 2 outs here, runner on first, and there's another breaking ball in there for a strike.
This guy that played here, Garrett Dix from Perryville. A lot of these players know him very well. He actually plays on the St. John Legion team. So he played 2 years ago on the Freshman Legion and has played this past summer on the Junior Legion. So a lot of these kids know him and know him pretty well. And, I saw him out there talking earlier before the game.
Always neat to play as he drives that one to center field. Lombardier able to run in, makes the play for the 3rd out. And another good inning by the Dragons. Again, I believe that's 1 hit, and no walks, no runs. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
It's a lot easier when there's not a lot going on to keep track of. So nice job by Toombs. They come in really the last 3 innings. I think in pitch pretty decent. Did give up a couple runs in the 3rd inning, but I think there was a couple errors that helped that. But in the last 2 innings, for sure, no runs, a few hits, but one no walks. And like I said, no walks, no runs.
Right.
Makes a big difference.
That's a big difference. And we ended up, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks in the first 3 innings. And, 6 runs up on the board for Perryville, none since and no runs since. So, again, we've said it before how walks have plagued us. And, here as Drew has really settled down and not walked anybody since he's come in. And some good things have happened. Looks like I do see a pitching change here for Perryville.
This is number 4.
Richardy
or Richarday?
Richardy.
Richardy. That is Trent Richardy, number 4. So that was Favor that pitched 4 innings. Not a bad job. He did give up 4 runs, maybe 1 error. Contributed to that, but again, he threw some strikes. He did give up a few hits, but has the lead going into the bottom of the 5th inning. So,
I'm sorry.
Nope. I was going to say, as for a Dragons fan, we hope that Richardy loses that lead.
Well, and I was going to say here we're near the top of our lineup coming into the bottom of the 5th here with our 2, 3, 4. Hopefully, again, we can get some runners on and do some damage here to cut into this lead.
And we do have the second batter, Kemper, as he fouls that one back. Kemper came in with a .235 average with 12 hits.
Waylon has grounded out to 3rd and then grounded out to shortstop.
Here's the pitch from Richarday, and Kemper's going to drive that. That's hangs up there too much as the left fielder able to run underneath it and make the catch for the first out of the inning. Thought maybe he was going to bloop in between there, but just kind of carried and stayed up in the air too long.
Wyatt up to bat now, 3rd place hitter, and he has scored twice. He has singled, stole a base in the 1st, and hit that double and scored in the 3rd.
I believe his 2nd as he grounds the ball to 1st, and that was Unterreiner able to make the play. I believe the last time he scored on a balk.
Yes.
After his hit. So 2 outs now with Dalton Giesler coming to bat.
Number 9, Dalton Giesler.
Dalton came in with a .308 average and had 16 hits. That was the tied for 2nd Nope, third for the most hits on the team. Sees strike one. Good-sized crowd here today. And there's a pitch in the turf. Brings the count to 1-1. Charday with the lineup, or windup, and there's ball two. Nice to get some action going here in the bottom of the fifth. With two outs, but Giesler pops that one up. That's the center fielder going to come in, camp under it, make the play for the third out of the inning. So a quick inning for Richardet as the Dragons go down 1-2-3, and we'll head to the top of the sixth with the Pirates leading 6-4. Again, Clayton Geck a little slow on the inning change. He's not paying attention. He's got his wife down in front of him. I'm sure he's not, focused. And still hasn't done it. I got his attention, and there it is. That's the second error of the game. As he's messed up the inning, and he missed that one ball that one time. So we are keeping stats. 2 errors on Geck. Well, we hope to maybe speak to Coach McDaniel or Coach Gibson or somebody after the game, I guess, to get their thoughts on what they thought so far. So what do we got, 20 days left? They've been keeping track of school?
I honestly don't know, Coach.
I know. I want to say it's 20 or maybe 19 after today. Could be. I bet if you found a kid, they'd probably know.
They probably would.
Maybe a senior, they would know. It wouldn't
well,
be
I
our
saw
number.
I saw up in the Commons or in the senior tee they had it, and I think it was at 15 today.
Because they won't go back. Their graduation is the. Do you know off the top of your head? I can look it up. But I think graduation is before the last week, so they get out early. Is it the 21st? Yes. Saturday, May 21st is graduation. And we've got to come back on that Monday and Tuesday, I believe, for school. As there's a drive to center field, and Wyatt Lombardier there to make the catch. That was number 27. Kern.
36, Cameron Fears.
And in steps 36, Cameron Fears.
He is yet to be retired today. He walked in the first, singled in the second, and singled again in the fourth.
Well, I think he's due.
I
He is
agree.
due to be retired. And there's ball one outside. And he sticks the bat out there, drives it to right field, but Boyer able to really have to make maybe one step to his left to make the catch for the second out of the inning. And so that's what we like to see. Is that 3 pitches, I think?
Oh, I wasn't going to say.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 2 to the first batter, 1 to the second batter. So hopefully we can continue. Let's just go one more pitch with a ground ball to second. What do you think? Ooh, that dropped in there. Looked pretty good from here.
Must have been inside.
Yeah. So for ball 1. Do have some games going on today. Don't have any scores. There's ball 2 outside. Hillsboro at North County. Kingston at Herculaneum. Cape Notre Dame at Fredericktown. Central and AV is postponed. And Valley Caledonia and Valley Catholic was postponed today. As there's ball 3. I'll give you a free shot, Timms. I ruined it.
Yeah. What were you saying?
3 straight balls. Blame that one on me.
That's where we got to bear down here and just come after him and let him hit the ball.
Under Reiner shaking the bat. And that's ball 4. So stick my foot in my mouth.
That's okay.
So up will come number 7, Quaid Fears. That's K-W-A-I-D, Quaid. I know I got at least walked once. That's all I stopped keeping track. Here's the pitch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tad bit outside.
He's walked twice and struck out.
It seems like this, not that he's done a bad job, but the strike zone, is it varying some? A little wider than some innings? So we have a 1-0 count, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Pirates again leading 6-4. We have our runner on first, and there's ball 2. We have a pinch runner coming in for the Pirates. That is number 26, Jerome Simpson. He is running for Unterreiner, which Unterreiner is the first baseman, so I don't know if he's going to come out of the game, or I guess they do have a re-entering rule, or maybe Unterreiner is going to pitch or something. Maybe needs to warm up. Guess we'll find out. As Fears steps back into the box. Toombs checks the runner at first, strides home, and there's a strike, 2-1. Just what he needed. You have a short lead at first. And Toombs comes home, and there's a foul ball over our heads behind us. Brings the count to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Toombs gets the pitch he wants. Checks on the runner at first. Kind of lobs, quick move, but then kind of lobbed the ball over there. Yeah. Maybe he just didn't want to throw it away. Sometimes you just kind of, just to mess with the runner a little bit. And there's a little breaking ball. Giesler with a good stop. And that brings the count to full. So the runner at first will be taking off as we have a 3-2 count with 2 outs. As a pitcher, you just got to keep your focus and know that it's going to happen. As Toombs comes set and goes home, and there's a drive to center field. Lombardier steps back, makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. That was really interesting watching Toombs make that last pitch, because before with a runner on base, he's had a quick stride, to the plate because he, don't want it to get a good jump. Well, he was still from the set position stride, but he brought the leg up, was much slower because he knew the runner was going to steal no matter what with the full count.
Looks like we do have a new pitcher again this inning. This is Unterreiner.
That will be Unterreiner.
New first baseman, I believe, now.
That is number 8.
Moldenhauer.
Connor Moldenhauer. So it looks like whoever came in to run is just going to be taken right back out of the game. Moldenhauer will then go to the pitcher's spot, I guess, as far as in the lineup. And Unterreiner will be the pitcher. So that was a quick inning for Richardet, too. I mean, I don't know if he's just a one-inning guy that comes in and gets him, maybe the setup guy for the closer, but, we still got 2 innings.
Yeah.
Maybe Unterreiner's a 2-inning closer. I don't know.
Might be.
Just kind of weird that he came in for 1 inning and it was real quick. You think if he was, didn't want to use him a lot, but how fast he was, he definitely could have pitched another one. So in steps Brady Boyer, number 30. I believe Boyer has got one hit today, I know for sure.
Yeah, he singled in the first and flew out to the center fielder in the third.
He takes ball 1. Boyer does have a .390 on base percentage with an .808 OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging percentage.
Okay.
Don't know how you figure that out, but there you go. It's high, that's for sure, 808. And he watches ball 3, so down by 2 runs. I'm sure he will have the take sign as we need some base runners. And Drew Toombs will be next, and there's ball 4. So a leadoff walk from Unterreiner brings the tying run to the plate, and number 29, the pitcher, Drew Toombs. Really going to be looking to help himself out here. Unterreiner has not thrown a strike yet, so you want to be picky.
Right, absolutely.
Sit on one. If it's right down the middle, though, you want to drive it. Here's the pitch, and that's ball inside. 5 straight balls from Unterreiner. We have, again, Brady Boyers on first with a walk. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Unterreiner comes set and comes home, and there's ball 2 up and in. 6 straight balls. So Coach Steffens will come out and talk to his pitcher. You can't settle him down. Definitely don't want to put the tying run on base and the winning run up to the plate. Not that we hit too many home runs,
right.
But like, in the majors, but you never know, anything could happen. Be nice to little comeback win here for the Dragons at home.
Nice easy swing here. Kind of keep the merry-go-round going.
And there's the pitch, and there's a ball they're going to throw down to first to try to get Boyer, and he's back safely. So 2-1 count. Gibson yelling nothing up and drive the ball. Boyer with a good lead at first, and here comes Unterreiner, and here's a ground ball to third. A little short hop on the third baseman. He's able to pick it up and get Toombs out at first. So Boyer able to move down to second on the ground ball. And in steps Grant Staffen.
Second baseman, number 3, Grant Staffen.
A little bit of noise coming from the dugout. You haven't really heard much, been quiet. Unterreiner comes set, and there's the ball on the turf. Good scoop by the catcher. It looks like Kern back there. 1-0 the count. 1 out, runner on second. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike. Oh, it was a little high for Staff. It's pretty short there. But we're 1-1. Unterreiner checks the runner at second. There's a ball that's too high. 2-1. Unterreiner's working fast. I mean, he does pause. I'm not saying he's not pausing, but he's not pausing for very long. Checks that runner real quick and goes. And there's a ground ball that's going to get, the shortstop's going to get to it. He throws, and Staffen is out at first as Boyer is able to move over to third. Thought that was going to get through, but the shortstop did a good job. And that is Steffens over there at shortstop. So now we got 2 outs, and we need a hit. Vaith got a hit his last time at bat. We could really use another one here for the Dragons to pick up a run. And there's a pitch, ball 1. Vaith does have 13 hits on the season. He has 7 RBI, so go ahead and ask for it, Toombs. You asked last time and you got it.
Little easy, little easy swing here over the top of the infielders.
There's ball 2.
We'll take it. Let's get that RBI in.
In 2-0 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Dragons trailing by 2. And there's a pitch, and he drives it. Is it going to get down? Oh, and the center fielder able to run in and make the play in front of him. So thought that was going to drop for a base hit. And center fielder made a good play to come in and make the catch. So the Dragons straying a runner at third and still trails 6-4 heading into the final frame of the 7th inning. So just unfortunate there, didn't pick up a run. But we still have one more inning, and Toombs will head back to the mound.
We will face the bottom of the lineup for Perryville with the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up.
So the Blues moving on to round 2. The Dallas start versus the Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars. Quiz question for you. What is their old? Where did they come from? What was the old name of this team that's now the Dallas Stars?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. Couldn't even guess.
I know my brother-in-law Lonnie's out there. I'm sure he's.
Well, let's see if they can text it in. If he's still listening, if you can text it in, you can get a free hot dog if he ever shows up to the game next time. What did the Dallas now? Let's try to give. I'm sure he knows it. Yes, but is it Dallas? Is it the mascot that changed,
no,
or is it
both
the
city and mascot?
City and mascot's different. So, where did they come from? Was it a Canadian?
I can't give that away. I can't give that away.
I never really followed a lot of hockey until really the last couple of years. I do know that the Blues have beat them, I think, 4 out of 5 times in the regular season.
They're 4-1 in the regular season against.
So that's good, even though you throw all that out whenever playoffs start. So we were talking about earlier. We'll have number 32, Johnson, come, and he grounds the ball. That's to Henson at short. He throws and out at first. So nice play by Henson.
Again, just throwing strikes. That's the key.
Talking about, throwing it out, it's playoffs. It's amazing the difference when you watch a regular, not that hockey's not intense in regular season, but games might be 1-0, one in overtime maybe or something, or in a shootout. I mean, there's just the goals are scored like crazy in the playoffs.
Yeah. I heard him talking today on a radio station how playoff hockey, that might be.
There's a drive. Yep, that's in the gap to right center. Boyer's going to get there first, throw it in, and whew, man, nice arm, good hustle. Almost got the guy at second. And that was Roberts with a double, 1-out double.
But, the Blues themselves, even the regular season, they play what's called a heavy game. It's a really hard, heavy, lots of hits type game. And, that's what the playoffs are all about. A lot of these finesse teams, sometimes will struggle in the playoffs. And, I say that as a Blues fan who has seen the Blues struggle in the playoffs. But this year they've had a little more of an edge when it comes to, playing a heavy game.
In steps number 1, Mueller. And I can't agree more. And I think if you've watched the games themselves from game to game or even just period to period, and I know things change in all sports. I mean, in basketball, it's like, why are we not doing what we did at the beginning of the game, things like that. But I think when the Blues have been physical is when they've been successful.
Yep.
Because there's times where I just think, why are they not hitting that guy? Why are they not being more aggressive? And it seems like the Blackhawks score. I'm constantly, when we're talking about people, is there's ball 3. It's like, if in basketball, a guy with a ball would cross half court and you could check him, I mean, why are you not doing that?
Yeah.
That guy is not going to score. Now, if you're, you got odd man, you got to try to play between them both. I get it. But when you're even, there's strike 1. I don't understand why they don't just hit the guy every time he tries to cross the blue line. And there's times we do it, and it seems like it works. And there's times where we just kind of skate backwards. We let them come in and pass or shoot. And I don't know a lot about hockey. There's a drive to right field. Boyer running back, and just over the reach, just over his glove. That's going to score a run, And we're going to try to get the guy at third, and Kemper had to come off away from the base to make the catch. And so a triple there for Mueller. An RBI triple for Mueller, and that brings the lead to 7-4. And Boyer was running back and thought he was going to get there, and it was just over the top of his glove. So, I don't know much about hockey, but it just seems like the more physical they are, the better that they play.
Right.
And here's the pitch from Toombs, and that's ball up and in.
Got to relax here and throw strikes and not try to overpower and overpitch a little here. I know that's, it's his composure. He needs to gather it back and try to get out of this inning.
Well, you can see there he's kind of stepped off and taking some deep breaths. And there's a strike, 1-1. We have one out here with a runner on third. You see the infield is playing in to keep another run from scoring. Keep it as close as possible. And another pitch from Toombs is ball outside, 2-1. You also got to wonder, as a pitcher, because he's, in his fourth inning of work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many pitches. I don't think he's thrown a ton. He's had a couple good innings, but you're not maybe used to the heat. Pitching in the heat as there's ball 3, and going. I don't know how many times Toombs has went long innings, or but definitely I don't know if you've had to deal with this heat yet. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And there's a shot right up the middle, and that'll score another run as the infield was playing in and out of the reach of Staffen. And so that makes it 8-4 Pirates. And then steps number 3, Dix. And Coach McDaniel will come to visit. Good hard hits by the Pirates. Toombs again throwing strikes, doing what you need to do. Staying in line with Major League St. Louis sports, the Cardinals. I don't know if you've been Diaz, if you kept up with Diaz, batting like 450 something.
Way
I
up
think
there.
the last time I checked. I mean, something I don't think any St. Louis rookie, it's the highest as a rookie from St. Louis, and just amazing. And really, just some of the rookies and their home runs. I mean,
Jamie Hazelbaker.
Cardinals are leading in home runs, I think. I know in the National League. I don't know if it's in the entire National and American, but they were saying a stat the other night that we were second in runs, and last year we were 24th in the Major League Baseball in runs, and now we're second this year, which tells you something about pitching.
Right.
Because last year 24th in runs and winning 100 games, and now we are second in runs and we're third in the league.
Yeah.
So the Pirates do have a runner on first, a 2-0 count, and that's ball 3 up high. So it just seems, again, Toombs was throwing strikes and they got a few hits, but maybe run out of gas here. I don't know. I think he's still throwing hard.
Yeah.
There's ball 4 inside. And here comes out Coach McDaniel again, so there will be a switch. And it looks like Vaith and Toombs will switch spots, and Vaith will come in to pitch, and Toombs will go to first. So 3.5 really, really good innings from Toombs, and just couldn't quite finish this one off. Is that right? He came in and
he came in with no outs in the third, so he's pitched
third,
4,
fourth, fifth.
and third.
Yeah. So, again, did a good job. And these Pirates, you give them credit, they've hit the ball. I mean, I know we've had a few walks early and a couple errors, but they've hit the ball when they've needed to. And so the score is 8-4, and we'll have Daniel Vaith, who will come in and pitch. Daniel has pitched 19, almost 20 innings. He's pitched in 8 games. He does have, let's see here, 1-3 record, 1 save. Has 19 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 3.559 ERA on the season. So the Dragons just really good points, bad points, good points, kind of just up and down as far as, the pitching, the hitting, and, have 2 or 3 good innings and then, not a great inning here or batting same way. First couple innings picking up a couple runs each time, and then now a couple innings where really haven't done much. Inconsistency, I think, is the word that comes to mind. And I think you get that, young team, inconsistency. Even in the field, I don't know that we've had we did have a few errors early, but even the mental stuff and play from Boyer, Kemper had to come off and catch it, but it didn't look like he was ready to make the play. Like he didn't even know it was going to third base. Like he thought maybe they were should have went home, and that comes from talking and just being alive. And I talked about the dugout. Didn't hear much except for this last inning about noise from the dugout. So as the umpire will go out and talk to Vaith and tell him the situation and how many outs, and we have 1 out, a runner on first and second. We'll see what Daniel Vaith can do here in the top of the 7th inning. Batting for the Pirates is number 27, Kern. Vaith, the lefty. It'll be something different that the Pirates haven't seen yet. And there's ball 1. Good scoop by Giesler. Keep the runners at first and second. And here's the pitch, and that's fouled off right at the dugout, Pirates dugout. Brings the count to 1-1. Here's the pitch, ball high, 2-1 the count. Tough to kind of stay alive out there in the field. Seems like it's becoming a long inning. And there's a little dinker back to Vaith, and he's going to go to 2. And they get the runner at second.
I think they might have been able to get the runner at third.
Yeah, I think so too. I think maybe not as long a throw either, but get the lead runner. But, I don't know if Giesler's seeing, could see that runner also, if he was just checking the runner at first. But they got an out, which is key here now with 2 outs. So now really just got to go after the batter. We do have first and third, so the Pirates have.
I think it's Moldenhauer. I think this is the guy that took over and went to first.
Yes, you are correct. And then Moldenhauer, as he fouls that one back. It's 0-1.
Let's do our best to get out of this inning. I know I say it all the time, but it brings me back to the DeSoto game where we went into the 7th inning down 10-5 and ended up tying that game up. So, I've seen the Dragons do it, and let's get out of this inning and at least get up to get to bat and give it a shot.
Yeah, try to minimize, and there goes the runner, and we got a little cutoff, but it's not going to be in time. Don't know if he'd have got it, but that pitch, that throw from Giesler, I guess a little high for Staff, and he had to jump and didn't quite, catch it clean and couldn't get the ball back into home plate fast enough. So the runner from third will score. I think that runner from third was he took off as
Yeah.
Giesler was coming up. I mean, Giesler can't see that, but as there's a ground ball back to Vaith as he trots over underhand to Toombs for the third out of the inning. So the Pirates score, what was it, 4 that inning? No, 3 that inning. As now the score is 9-4 as we head into the bottom of the 7th. And up for the Dragons will be Henson. And then we'll go to the top of the lineup with Morgan Thaler and then Kemper. And if anyone would get on base, Wyatt Lomadier would be the 4th batter. And we do have a new pitcher for the Pirates, so we have 2 setup guys and a closer.
Yeah.
And number 12, nope.
It's 32.
Sorry, 32. So that's Johnson, Wyatt Johnson. So he's been in the game, so just maybe switching some guys around. Well, it does look like we have a new right fielder, Ross Hadler, number 6, in the lineup.
You know, I don't know. Lonnie may not be listening anymore, but I think I'll give the answer.
Oh,
So
he never did text.
Dallas, no, never did. Dallas Stars were initially the Minnesota North Stars.
Minnesota North Stars.
Yes.
Was that team there very long?
Yeah, it was
Really?
there for quite a few years. Yep.
Again, I didn't follow hockey much, so because I don't even remember that name.
Yep, Minnesota North Stars. You probably don't remember the Quebec Nordiques either, do you?
No, I do not. Quebec Nordiques?
Quebec Nordiques, yes.
What is a Nordique? Can you explain that?
You know, I'm not really sure. I guess we could Google it, but I'm already keeping the book, talking, and the camera sometimes.
Nordique. Need to make sure I spell it. Can you tell me how to spell it?
N-O-R. Starts that way.
I don't want to spell it wrong. Come up with something else.
N-O-R-D-I-Q-U-E, I believe.
What
Now batting for the Dragons, number 28,
is
Jake Brewster.
N-O-R-D-I-Q-U-E. That's my guess.
what is a Nordique? As there is ball 1.
And we got Brewster into the game.
Brewster batting for Henson. So we'll try to get some stats on Jake. I know Jake hasn't batted a ton. He has batted 3 times and got 2 hits. Does have 1 RBI. So he's batting .667. 2 singles as he swings and misses that one, and it's 1-2. Ooh, and that's a ball. Pretty close there. The logo is an igloo with a hockey stick.
Yep, that's true. That's them.
A Nordique is a term used to refer to the natives of the Ungava. As Brewster grounds that one to second, he bobbles it a little bit. Still time to step and throw for the first out of the inning. Again, the natives of the Ungava region in the province of Quebec.
There you go.
Left fielder, number 42, Derek Morgan Taylor.
Somebody else that another one answers in Northern French Canadian. A rough translation is Northman. So.
Learned something today, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. The Quebec Nordiques. Nordiques. And Morgan Taylor holds off that one to bring the count to 1-2. So Dragons down 9-4, need 5 runs to tie, 6 to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. They have 1 out and a 2-2 count on Derek Morgan Thaler. need base runners. The key here is just to remember you can't do it in one swing. And he's going to drop that one right over the shortstop's head for a single. Derek Morgenthaler, that's his second hit of the game, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So is that 2 for 4?
2 for 3.
2 for 3.
He was hit by a pitch in the first.
And in steps Kemper. In the same way, want to be kind of selective here. Make sure you get a good pitch. Need base runners. 1 out, runner on first, and there's a ball on the turf, and Morgenthaler able to, good base running, move up to second, so that'll take away the double play. On deck, Wyatt Lomadier warming up in the circle. And there's a ball high for Kemper. He does a good job of dropping the bat down. And now you're 2-0, definitely maybe taking or really squeezing the strike zone here. And there's ball 3, 3-0. So obvious take here with needing runners, 3-0 count. Could do the old little kid thing and show the bunt and pull it back just to mess with the pitcher. As there's strike 1. 3-1 pitch, and it jams him a little bit, hits it to the short. Shortstop, and they will come over. Oh, came off the base. I think it was a good throw. I think the first baseman may be worried about Morgenthaler going to third, and he pulled off the base to kind of pop up there, but and it was a good call. Sometimes the umpire just called it out.
Gives it,
just gives it just because, but he was definitely way, I wouldn't say way off, but he was definitely off. So we got first and third here with Lomadier, and they're going to check the runner at first. Kemper's back safely. So we got, again, 1 out. You know, don't want to get picked off. Don't really want to run into an out. As there's ball 1. But it'd be nice to get out of the double play if you could, if it were Kemper. But I don't think you're going to steal because they'll probably throw down, get an out, give up maybe the 1 run, I would think. But we have 1-1, hoping that Lomadier can drive the ball to the outfield. Here's the pitch, and there's a ball high. 2-1 the count.
So I did get a text from my brother-in-law. It said he didn't initially hear the question, but he remembers watching several games at the old Checker Dome when they were the North Stars.
There's a ground ball between the first and second baseman. So Lomadier with an RBI, and so that brings the score to 9-5 now with 2 on.
That is Wyatt's third hit.
So he's actually seen games there, or just seen them play somewhere else?
I can't clarify that, but
definitely does remember it. Does he remember the Quebec Nordiques?
Oh, I'm sure he does. Been a hockey fan for a long time.
There's strike 1 here on Giesler. Giesler looking for his first hit.
Let's see. Yes.
Oh, and there's a good breaking ball there, and Giesler able to foul that one off. So down 0-2. Again, 1 out. Runners at first and second. And we have Brady Boyer on deck circle. And Giesler, there's a ground ball. This could be 2. He second throws to short over, and that's going to be safe as he comes to the first baseman. Had to come off the bag to make the catch. So the Pirates get an out at second. So we have 2 outs now. Runners on first and third. Dalton Giesler on first.
Right fielder, number 30.
Over at third is Waylon Kemper, and Brady Boyer up to bat. And there's a ball high. A walk here would bring the tying run to the plate. Let's drive the ball and pick up a run as there's a breaking ball inside, ball 2. And there's a little ground ball that's going to be foul right at Coach McDaniel. Third baseman comes over and tries to make a play. So 2-1 the count. Every time I take my sunglasses
Me
off,
too.
the sun comes back out. Here's the pitch, another breaking ball. There's a little dribbler to short. He comes in, makes the play, and he is out. He calls him out. It was close. Tough play, but the Boyer is out at first, and that will end the game as the Pirates take this one 9-5 over the St. Genevieve Dragons. So just not enough. Made a little run there in the last inning, but, you know, we talked about that they are capable of doing those things. They're capable of scoring some runs late, but really after that last inning, you just dug it, you know, talked about digging too deep, and down 5 is, you know, anything can happen. You talked about they did it before, but it's tough to do to come back with 5 runs. So the Dragons go through the pitcher's Wyatt Lomadier, who started off struggling with throwing strikes, then moved to Drew Toombs, who did a good job for about 4 innings, and Daniel Vaith able to come in that last inning and, you know, kind of clean things out with maybe giving up 1 more run. So pitching was up and down, you know, throughout the entire game, and, you know, good and bad. Batting about the same. Scored some runs early, couple runs in the first inning, couple runs in the second inning. Nothing for the next 4, and then able to pick up a run here in the 7th inning, and again, try to make some noise. But, again, just not enough consistency as far as hitting goes to make a difference. So if you're Coach McDaniel, what's going through your head? What are you saying to the group out there as they're talking?
Well, you know, I think you talk about, you know, trying to cut down. Of course, there's not a lot you can talk about with the walks, but, you know, you hurt yourself with those. But then when those things happen, I think you've got to really work on picking your pitcher up by making plays. And, you know, we had too many errors. And, I don't know the official number of errors, but we definitely had some. And, you know, you want to talk to them about 3 games this week, this one and 2 more, and doing the best you can to shake those off and be ready to come for a doubleheader tomorrow. You know, we got our hands full tomorrow. You know, we'll play Valley first, who's something like, you know, 15, 16, 17-1, something, I don't know. And really, really good ball club, probably easy the number 1 seed in the conference tournament coming up. And then that same night, tomorrow night, we'll also face Arcadia Valley in a really key, pivotal, I'm not even going to say conference matchup because they're in the small school conference and we're in the large school. But when it comes to conference tournament time, it's a real big game for us for conference seeding. You know, as you look at things, and of course I don't get to seed it. I'm not a coach and do that kind of stuff. But I can kind of look at, you know, where everybody's at. And Arcadia Valley's got a really strong record. I think there's something like 10-4 right now. But if you look at common opponents and things of that nature, it's just going to be a key matchup. If they beat us, they definitely will get outseeded. You know, they'll outseed us. But if we can beat them, you know, and I think we definitely can. You look at some common opponents that we've had, and they lost to Fredericktown, and we beat Fredericktown. That's one that we had in common. The only other real common, if I remember correctly, is R7, and we both beat R7. And so, you know, I think we're both, even though their record is definitely better, and I think we're pretty equal, I guess I would say, in that. And I think they've had a pitcher who already has signed to pitch in college, and I'm losing it. I'm going to say somewhere like Minoy area or something of that nature. But, you know, they're going to come in here and they're going to be ready. They know what's at stake. They know that seeding for the conference tournament is up for that game. And, you know, my guess, you know, again, I'm just a fan looking, and I have no insight other than I just look at scores and get on some websites to see who's played who. But, you know, right now I would say that Valley is probably going to be the number 1 seed, and I think that's a pretty easy given. 2 is probably going to be North County, would be my guess, who won the large school conference regular season. 3, 4, and 5 is going to fall between, you know, Park Hills, Farmington, Park Hills, Farmington, and Potosi. I would say Park Hills and Farmington, they were both 3 and 2, I believe, in the conference. Probably be the 3 and the 4. Us and
Fredericktown.
No, us and I'm losing it.
So
Us and Farmington were both. No, us and Potosi, one of the two. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. But we were tied at 2 and 3, but they beat us head to head, so that's why we'll be behind them.
Well, who did we beat? Farmington
and Fredericktown.
Fredericktown.
Yes.
Okay. You talked about that small conference, the AV game, and it's always a big game because you don't play every small school.
Right.
It's not, it used to be you had to, I think, in a lot of the sports, but you don't do that. So it does make a big difference because if you play 1 or 2 of them, then that's how you judge whether you're good enough, or above the ones that you didn't play. And I think that's a good point.
And AV is number 2 in the small school conference easily, and that's why that game I think is so crucial when it comes down to seeding. If we can beat them, then I think that the only small school team probably seated ahead of us is of course Valley. So it's going to be a pivotal game, and not that Valley's not, of course, crosstown rival.
Yeah.
And I don't know who Coach McDaniel's planning on pitching tomorrow. I have no idea, and don't know where Valley's at in their lineup. But these two teams they'll battle each other.
Yeah.
Last year I think we maybe went 1-1 against them, if I remember correctly, when we faced them. So they're a really good ball club.
It's interesting to think about. Now I know you have to work in your rotations because you don't want to, for instance, turn around and probably throw Drew tomorrow. I mean, obviously. So you don't know who's your number 1 guy, but if you got 2 or 3 available, what do you do? Do you go with the crosstown rival and win this game? Or do you go with, we need to win the AV game because even if you beat Valley, it's probably not going to change as far as, being seated ahead of them. It's going to come down to a record and, maybe a fluke thing. And so, I mean, it'll give you some credit, but probably not enough to really change it. So, so do you worry about the crosstown rival pitch? What be your better pitcher, or do you go with the AV? This is what's going to help us in the seeding.
Well, of course, and Coach McDaniels, he's going to want to win every game. Of course, you go into it that way, and I think he'll attack both games with the opportunity to try to win. I think the Valley game is an important game. Maybe more important to the kids, maybe than the coaches, and I hate to say it that way, but I think that's true. And I think that definitely the AV game is an important game when it comes down to seeding for districts. So,
well, like you said, it was the kids. You mentioned the kids, which one's bigger, and I would think for them it would be the Valley game. And honestly, if I don't know what the big jump would be. Is if you beat AV, is it one person you would jump? Is it really, I guess a huge deal? I'm not sure how the conference baseball tournament works, if it's like a normal tournament where you seed 1 through 12 and one plays 12, or I think it's more
a little
bracket?
Different. There's pools is what it happens. Yeah, the 1 seed will be in a pool with the 8 and the 9 seed. The 2 seed will be in a pool with the 1, 8, 9, 2, 7, and 10. 3, 6, and 11, and 4, 5, and 12 will be pulled together. The way I understand it, that's what Coach Nix was talking to me about that. So, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's something where the highest seed gets the pool at their place.
At their place,
if I'm not mistaken. So
I guess if you're, I guess we're probably not going to be 1 through 4. No. Is that right? 4 different pools.
No. I anticipate if we beat AV, we'll probably be the 6th seed. If we lose to them, I would think we'll be the 7th seed. And I don't want to look too far ahead and talk about it. We say that jinxes things. I think we definitely want to stay away from that 8 seed.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in your pool with Valley necessarily, with as strong as they are this year. So,
well, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out, and maybe Coach McDaniel just says it's your turn and you go with it no matter who's going on, and maybe we're putting too much thought into it. I know sometimes you can do that as a coach. It's easy to do, to put too much thought into things rather than just letting your kids know, hey, let's go out and we're going to play every game the same way, and we go on from there. So because I know a lot of coaches will say it doesn't matter what you get seeded and what you gotta
beat everybody.
You gotta beat everybody if you're going to win it all. Now the ones that say that, I know in the back of their mind they're like every other coach too. Sure. They're thinking, well, what's the easiest way to get at least to that big championship game? So I'm sure he'll be thinking about it. But like you said, the kids they got to come out and play, and they have to do a better job than what they did tonight, and with consistency. So it would make a big difference when it comes to that. So I don't know if we'll get Coach McDaniel or Coach Gibson up here. I'm sure Coach Gibson's getting ready for the JV game, but we do have Clayton Gex.
You want to talk to Clayton for a little bit?
Back here. Sure. I got something to get on him a little bit. I didn't get to the last time, so. The voice of the Dragons, Clayton Geck.
How we doing, Coach?
You joined us? Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
You were,
other than you're razzing me already. I know what's coming.
Oh, well, I wrote down 2 errors because you missed a ball one time.
I heard I got it on there, though, before the next pitch.
And then, I don't know if it was the next pitch.
Okay, maybe it was after the next pitch.
And then the innings, it took you a while to get that next inning up there.
Twice.
So. Twice? I missed one.
I give myself 3 errors.
So I only seen one that I had to flag you down and tell you to change it. But
good.
So what's the view back from where you're at? Especially, let's talk about pitching. I guess you can see a little better of the strike zone and things. We didn't think anything was bad with the strike zone, but maybe a little tight at times.
At times, yes, definitely tight. I think more up and down than he was in and out on the tightness. But then there was times where he got a little wide too. I think there was a couple pitches when Drew was pitching. Drew Toombs was pitching. He threw maybe one right on the batter's box chalk line, and he called it a ball. But the next guy that does it, he calls it a strike. So,
yeah. Well, we mentioned it. It's a tough job, and we don't. And none of it made a difference in the game. I don't think.
Right.
I mean,
it didn't cost the Dragons the game at all by any means.
Wyatt had some trouble with his walks, but none of that was from the umpire. I mean, when he missed big, and we thought Toombs did a good job for about 4 innings, and just kind of Pirates just hit him there in that last inning, really made the difference. 3 good hard hits and then a walk, so the pitching we just wasn't great and throughout the entire game, we thought. So any other thoughts on what you seen from the Dragons?
Well, I think a lot of the runs came off of some unearned runs for the pitchers.
Especially early.
We had an inning there where we had a couple errors in a row, and luckily the pitcher, I believe it still was Drew pitching at the time. He kept his composure. He didn't let it bother him. He kept throwing the strikes. A lot of kids at that age, as a sophomore, that's going to get to them, and they're going to come in and they're going to get upset with their teammates, and then they're not going to do their job like they need to. They're going to be more worried about trying to strike the guy out than putting it over to play where he can make the defense can make a play.
Well, you mentioned being a sophomore, and that we kind of come back to it over and over, and we're seeing some really good things out of the young guys, but then at the same time, I think you're seeing that they are young and the inconsistency,
right.
And staying focused and on top of things. I'm not saying the kids aren't focused when they're out there, but I think they are getting down, because usually if an inning's good, it's good. I've seen for the most part, but if there's an error or a couple walks, then it really does turn into somewhat of a bad inning. I mean, at least giving up a couple runs and not necessarily getting out of jams with no harm done. It seems like if there's harm done, it does cost us a couple runs every time. So I think that comes from maybe the youth too.
Well, I think with the youth there, when they make an error, they get down on themselves a little more than they should, just because of the fact that they're like, man, what are these older guys thinking here?
Yeah.
Why am I getting to play over some of their upperclassmen? And I'm not proving myself very well. And that's just something they're gonna have to get over. It's gonna grow with them on time. That you make an error, big deal. You suck it up and you get ready to make the next play. You hope they hit the ball to you the next time because you want to make that play. You want to redeem yourself.
So you able to? I guess you're going to be doing it tomorrow. You got both games.
I will have the doubleheader tomorrow. Yes, sir.
That sounds like fun.
Yes.
Be the crosstown rival and from Valley, and I'm sure you remember playing those guys and what it meant. No matter what sport it was, when you step on the field, the court, there's a little extra meaning to that game.
Yeah, you seem to be a little more hyped up for that game than just about any other game, no matter how good you are or the other team is. If it's a championship game, if the game really doesn't even mean anything. But obviously, a crosstown rivalry, that means something.
Yeah.
That means something to these kids, bragging rights, and that's huge, especially in a small town like this.
It definitely does. I was looking at a basketball page they're making for, I think, the yearbook, and what was the highlight of the year? We win districts for the first time ever, and somebody put we beat Valley 3 times, and that was the highlight of the year. So I think that just goes to show you what it means, because these guys are family members sometimes, obviously really good friends, and then at a lot of times rivals,
teammates at times,
teammates
over
in the summer, and so it definitely means a lot to those guys. And so how about your school year? You're in the elementary, something different we don't get to hear a lot about. What's going on over there? And I know map testing is going on.
Right now we're third and fourth grades in their first week of map testing right now. Fifth grade is in their second week. They test over 3 subjects. So it's pretty quiet in the elementary right now. Everybody doing their best to keep calm and let these third, fourth, fifth grade.
Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like a lockdown. Nobody gets to go to the hallway. They're through the third and fourth grade hallway. Fifth grade, they get their own little space. They're off on their own little world, it seems like, with the new addition to the school. But, the teachers are very nice. They don't allow the kids to walk that direction, say to go to music class or to the library to check out some books during the day. They make sure they take a route where they're not walking by a room and going to disturb anybody. So,
well, I know the kids must really put a lot into it mentally, because Shay – come home and passed out yesterday.
It's a draining day, and
it just missed supper, just slept right through it.
Yeah, these kids, it's weird. Some of them dread it, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they know it's a big test that we take at the school. It doesn't count towards their grades at all, but they know it's an important test for the school. It lets them know what they've learned over the year. It helps the teachers know areas that they could have been stronger on in the area, things like that. And it just stresses the kids out. And, it really stresses the kids out more than the teachers, which is sad. You'd think it stresses the teachers out more than it stresses the kids.
Well, you're worried about, you want the kids to do well. So,
and you don't know what's on there. There's the only way you can prepare them is teach them every possible thing that you can that aligns with the curriculum at school and your grade level. So. And, that's tough at times you got to map it out throughout the year, and then you get these snow days, and then you got to figure out how to fit it all in because they don't allow you to switch the map time too much.
Yeah. Well, my personal opinion is, obviously it's good you get to see where kids are compared to other kids. But, is it really that they're truly learning something? But, I guess you have to gauge it somehow, and for our state, and that's kind of the way they do it. But going to be coming down field trips?
Yeah, a lot of the classes have been taking some field trips. In the fourth grade where I teach, we are getting ready to go on our grade level field trip. We usually go to the Arch because Missouri is a big thing in our social studies class. But the Arch was getting renovated, or it still is, and they didn't know when they were going to have the museum open underneath the Arch grounds. So we decided that we were going to opt out of that this year, and we're going to take them bowling. Make a little math. Put a little math with it.
Good way to spin it.
I told them what we need to do is we need to tell the bowling alley turn off the scoreboards, make them keep score themselves, see if they can do it.
You say that, but that's what we do in middle school. We teach.
You bowl.
We bowl, and we teach how to keep scoring because I tell them it's important. I know the machine does it for you, and it's probably going to do it. You'll never probably have to do it yourself again, but if you really want to understand how your score works and how's the best way, obviously I know knock down more pins, you get better, but just to understand what's really going on, I think it's a neat thing for kids to do, but it's a nice twist you got from something historic from the Arch to,
we throw a little math
bowling.
In there.
So. But you know what? I think the kids need something fun at the end. It's just like, hey, this has had a great year, and go enjoy something too.
We always enjoyed going to the Arch as well. The kids. How many kids get to do that?
Yeah.
Especially from St. Genevieve. Not too many kids get to do that.
True.
We went to the art museum with Mike Cook with his art class. He takes the fourth grade up there every year, and as you're driving through St. Louis, the kids are screaming on the bus. They start pointing and yelling, "The arch, the arch!"
Yeah.
I mean, because most of them's probably never seen the thing.
Seeing it on TV,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
that's
and
about
it's definitely something cool to witness. And, you know,
Yeah.
when the kids get up there, they get to see downtown St. Louis. They get to see across the river in Illinois. And a lot of the boys, you know, are huge Cardinal fans, so they're fascinated about getting to check that out.
Mhm.
And they're always hoping there's a game going on while we're there. And
I guess you do kind of take for granted sometimes that probably most families' kids don't get to do that. You know,
unfortunately, they don't.
Where some, you know, have probably maybe done it a couple times, but a higher percentage probably never seen it or definitely never been up in there.
You know, speaking of that, when I was a kid, I went to the arch a lot, but every time I went there, it was closed down. We could never the trolleys were closed down. They never let us go up in.
Yeah, well,
so I didn't get to go in the arch until I started working at the school district here a few years ago.
It's funny you mentioned that. Shay wants to go, and his older brothers tell him it's closed. They're tearing it down. They're tearing it down. So he's constantly saying he wants to go. And
we need to have a talk with Shay. They're definitely not tearing it down, Shay. That's a huge landmark. I don't think they'll ever tear it down.
Yeah. So, well, I don't think Coach McGannon, he's warming up the JV, so, you know, he will hopefully maybe get him next time. So I think we'll definitely close this one out. We appreciate Mr. Geck, Coach Geck, to come up and talk to us a little bit and share what the elementary is doing and his thoughts about the baseball team. So I believe we will be on air tomorrow, definitely for the first game and maybe the second game. We get people to stick around and do that. So we appreciate all 6 of you or 7 of you that was online listening, and we appreciate that, and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And again, the recap, the Dragons lost 9-5 to the Perryville Pirates, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.